the regular meeting right after, but it's resolution 2604. And basically, we're just transferring funds for the park.
Additional appropriation.
Additional appropriation for the park.
$27,000.
An amount of $27,300. I guess if nobody has any questions or discussion on this.
Is this a different amount from the previous one we talked about? This is just,
$27,300.
I thought we talked about one, or appropriation of amounts. Maybe it was the COVID fund, whatever it was.
Oh, so that was the total for the Tribbett bill and voucher.
Yeah.
That's what the $27,300 is.
Okay.
Do I have any discussion on this? Then I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing. All right, we have a motion. Do I have a second? Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, I'll call the regular town hall meeting to order. Let's start with the pledge, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first thing is the reading of the minutes. Everybody had an opportunity to do that.
Yes.
Do I have any additions, corrections, discussion on that?
I'll make a motion to accept.
I have a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Pass.
Ken, there's two sets of minutes, so if you want to ask them about the public,
Oh, it's on the
Hearing.
public hearing
yes,
too.
yeah. So just ask for another, they've reviewed those and
Did you review the one on the public hearing? I just saw that. I should have added that with that. Is there any discussion on that? And then I'll need a motion for it.
I'll make a motion to accept that one too.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay,
on
the
the
next
bills,
thing is,
on the bills, claims and payroll, can we add, I would like to add, a claim that an invoice that I received today, which is from Diane for Eric Henry for $850 for work he done at the park. So that way I can go ahead and pay him in full, if you guys can just maybe throw that in with your approval, in addition to that,
okay,
the AP fees that I sent you.
What did he do, Diane?
He put in a new door at the Little League and he sealed that all around. And then he had the press box there at the big field where it was not sealed. It was just placed in there and you could see daylight. So he filled that all in and made it secure. And then he put in where the air conditioner was, that was just wood and everything was rain and that. So he sealed that off so that it wouldn't hold moisture. So we wouldn't get any rot down inside the building.
Right.
So, just done some cleanup.
Do I have a motion to approve the pay addition that Annette just brought to our attention? Ron made a motion, Tony second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, do we have any discussion on bills, claims, payroll? I would entertain a motion then. Ron made the motion,
I'll say.
Chris second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Since this is the first day of July, we do not have at this time the monthly report. Annette and I will get together and take care of that later. All right, is there any visitors at this time that would like to speak? Diane?
Our caregiver was liking to use the Bobcat or occasionally the dump truck. Is that something that's going to be allowed or not allowed? If we need stuff removed or picked up, do we get a town employee or can she do that? There's an area on south of the barn that needs to be cleaned up. And it's got, I don't know for sure what's in there. There's old mulch. Weeds, and that needs to be cleaned up. That needs to have the Bobcat or, so who
I
runs
would
it?
personally prefer our town people do that.
I would agree.
But you guys said that town employees you don't want them working.
But it's not gonna be an every
No,
day, every week thing, is it?
No.
Just a period at a
hopefully
certain
it's
time.
not.
I mean, if they can get to it, whatever you've got that you need moved, and then
Well,
let
if we
them know.
If we clean trees up, now who's gonna pick all them up if we start trimming trees?
Are you-
I'm not
Are
gonna
you
pick them
trimming
up.
them or cutting them down?
I'm gonna trim quite a bit of tree limbs, but
Are you having the contractor do it or you do it?
I'll do it.
Okay, because if the contractor does, it's their job to pick it up.
But we're gonna have to. Why should we have to work twice as hard as anybody else in this area?
My only concern was liability. I would think you have to have training on that. Do you?
I have drove it for 4 years prior.
You did?
Yeah, I drove that 4 years prior, and I've also drove the dump truck. Not the new one, I have drove the old one. No one else wanted to do it. I would drive my old one and pick up everything. I've done both. I have hit, one windshield got knocked out, one. This town, employees, they have knocked out at least 5. So don't tell me it's because I knocked out one windshield. That really
I wasn't
ticks me
aware.
off.
It's not a personal attack. I just wasn't aware that you had
That makes me
training.
mad. I had one windshield.
Huh?
I don't think it's a train on it, and we had that damage that we have. The big thing, and I'm gonna speak here a little on this, is if we control who operates that, then when we have damage, and I think you guys recently got a picture of some damage, and that, then at least we know where to go back at and discuss issues with how equipment's ran. That's my 2 cents
And
on
who pays for the damage?
it. And then,
Out of what budget?
yeah, that's,
I'd like to know why we didn't seem to think we needed the old dump truck
the old dump truck,
down to park.
it was shot.
Is it liability?
Yeah.
I was still running it. I had
Well,
no
and
problem.
since you've left, we had problems with it, and, it's beyond that.
It was turned into a money pit.
Yes.
It had been almost the whole time we owned that truck.
I'm not gonna make the decision, I'll leave that up to the council,
The only thing,
how you wanna do this, as far as who operates what.
only thing I can say is that if there are damages to equipment, then it needs to come out of the park budget if it's damaged there.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sure they're fine with it, but I'm sure we're gonna be out there doing, we have a lot of holes out there, they need filled. I'm not gonna go out there and go literally have to dig it all, and,
No,
I mean, why should I have to work so hard? When we got the equipment,
no, I don't.
I
expect-
mean, really,
I
come
don't
on.
expect you to do it.
And
by
it's,
hand.
and I don't feel that they should have to come up because they're already missing one. Why should they do it when I've done it before? I don't understand that, I guess. I mean, maybe when there's new people that come in, but I have never had a problem. Until that one day that the windshield got knocked out because it was a limb that came back into it. It was not a tree, it was a limb that came back and hit me. There was no way to get out of that. I mean, there was no way.
Well, there's gonna be things like that happen.
But I have never broke the hose, guaranteed. I've never broke one of those hydraulic hoses. Usually the only things I use is the fork. I use the forks and then I use the, I don't really use the grippers very much. Only if we got a big mess.
I think we need Terry's 2 cents on that, you know, she's in that position to, you know, on the equipment. If she's qualified to run it, I mean, I don't want to see her manually loading that. The Bobcat needs to be used. And
Yeah.
if Tracy thinks that she's qualified to do that, let's do that. I mean,
But I think we need to have some rules and stipulations put in place. I think that, and I'm not trying to say anything bad,
No.
there was things that did occur last year that Roger had found, and I didn't want to speak on it because Roger was in charge then. And it was damage to the red truck that we had loaned them, and the taillight was just hanging out the back end. And then there was a community service worker that was driving the truck when we had lent it to Jerry, and it was the brand new one. So Roger had caught that, and that's when he said no more. So if we'd like to change that, that's fine, but I want the board to be fully aware of, maybe we need to have like a rules and a contract signed with him who's driving it, stating she won't do certain things. And
Do you have the?
The one time that, again, the guy driving the other one, he was driving one truck and I was driving the dump truck. I was gonna take him back over there. I had to have something to come back over here to the park, and I just asked the guy, you follow me with this one? So I go and put that dump truck over there.
He
That's
didn't.
the only time that I got the guy to use the truck. He was the red one, the one that you got just sold out after the winter. I mean, it was not a brand new truck, it was no truck.
we had a community.
But that's the only time that I used the guy to follow me over there, because I was gonna put the dump truck over there.
Yeah.
Because I was trimming trees, I was gonna put the dump truck over there, I need somebody, and right back over here to the park.
But I think the real key there, I'm sorry to laugh, it's not funny, but if we had a community service person driving any of our vehicles, shame on us.
Yes.
You know, so whoever's,
Yes.
if,
Yes.
you know, if you're.
I usually got the
One down
community service doing weed eating for me.
And that's fine.
That's
We're
the
not
only-
talking about driving equipment, so if you're, don't let them do that, please.
yes.
We
That-
don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody ever has drove any of the bigger stuff at all. I mean, we just don't do that.
again.
And he might set the truck out there for the guy to at least be able to sit in the truck to cool off. Cause we did have air conditioning now. I don't know if that has air conditioning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The last one, we had no air conditioning. But you know, we had to get him out of the sun. I mean, he was in there doing all the weeding. I mean, we still have to do
Let's
that.
just have Terry arrange to, if they're gonna use any of our equipment,
Tracy.
document it here.
I know.
I know what you mean.
I know what you mean.
Just right here.
Tracy. Now, we don't want Terry doing it. We want
Terry, Terry thought she had a good job.
Tracy, move down one.
Yes, sir.
I look over there, and Terry's scaring me to death. Let's do that right and let Tracy manage that. And only our qualified people, because Rod said that,
That would be those two right there.
yes, yeah, because we can't have,
No.
we can't. When we laid the baseball diamond, and one time we had prisoners from over here, remember that? And town truck was there, the guy jumped in the trucks. Whoever the cop was, whoa, you know, I mean, he's in an orange suit, I thought, he's bolting.
All right, I have a motion to, let the park caretakers use the town equipment, just the two park caretakers.
What about any damages or repairs? Do you want to put anything in
And
about that?
damage and repairs will go to the appropriate
Department?
department.
And we're gonna let Tracy take care of it.
And Tracy will draw up
Right.
some very simple thing, have them sign it, keep it on file. Is
And
that
then-
how I'm understanding all this?
Yeah. that's
And the
what-
day
yeah.
that it's returned, you'll go over that finally to make sure.
We
that
will.
no
I think that we should look
No,
at it
she
when
will.
it's dropped off
Both ways.
together, and then we will both sign the paper. And when I pick it back up, we will go over it again and make sure that everything's okay.
Protect everybody, good,
Yeah.
yes, I agree.
Get it out.
That's simple.
All right,
I'll
that's,
second it.
all right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
All opposed? Okay, that takes care of that. All right, this is, where we vote on the appropriation now. The addition appropriation for the park resolution 2026-04. I need to either have a motion to approve or not approve.
Where's the funds coming out of?
It'll come from the park fund. So there was, what, we figured about 24,000 that they still have left, they have the money.
Yeah.
So there was the insurance money that was still left from the claim, and then a little bit extra, but it all comes out of their park fund.
Okay.
So it's the parks, the money that they have in there.
Just moving it from one account to another in the park.
No, it's additional, so it would be, they would get an additional 27,300 in their appropriation for this year. So they could pay for the lights.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Do I have a second? All in favor? All opposed? Make sure you sign. This is a
We had
little
to do a
different.
public notification.
Uh,
Have the hearing and everything to make it official.
On my column, because the other's nay. If you're for it, you sign it.
Don't sign the wrong side.
All right, Commonwealth's not gonna be here. We met this afternoon. And, there was nothing really from last week. The bids are out. We had last Wednesday, this place was full of people wanting to bid on the sewer plant. And Gabrielle said that's a good thing because there'll be a lot of competition, maybe trying to get this, we'll get a little better deal, hopefully. But, every chair in here was filled. And a lot of them went down to the wastewater plant afterwards, toured that, asked questions to the project engineer. I'm glad she was here because she knew everything that's going on. I had not a clue what was. It's pretty detailed when you get into this kind of bidding. It's more than just bidding on one little thing. But it went well, and we met today, and hopefully the bids will be back, and they're gonna open them the 15th here, and I think it's 1:30. And then Commonwealth will take and review them and make sure everything is in place according to how the bid went out, what was required. And then by the August meeting, we're hoping they'll have a bid to present, the lowest bid to present to us.
We have the wastewater that bid opening at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock,
On
okay,
15th, yep.
1 o'clock.
I got it. I was gonna ask, mine says one.
Well, I almost forgot meetings today. So that's where we are with that. And Gabrielle, she wasn't gonna be here, and I said, that's fine, because there's gonna be time down the road here, she's gonna have to be here all the time. Because there's gonna be questions we won't have the answers to, and she will, either her or the project engineer. Okay,
And one other thing that she had on there was that they took care of that. We were in violation basically because our permit had expired to close the territory ponds, how do you say it? So they did get that extended, so now we're good through July of 2027.
yeah,
Yeah.
so everything right now is moving slow. You can't move the state any faster than they want to move it. And the people that'll do the bids, they'll get them in pretty quick. The next thing is the salary ordinance, amendment, ordinance 2026-601. This, Annette, I'm not up to date on this.
So
Is
that,
this what we voted on the last meeting? The 3% cost of living raise to the ones that have not received it.
right,
And all this is a
so then-
finalization of the ordinance that we must pass in order for that to be.
correct, yeah, so I sent you guys one that showed all the
Was it in
changes, and then this is just that with it all corrected.
Email.
So it's all been accepted, so it's just the clean version, but that is what that is, it has the 3%
Oh,
for the
change.
street commissioner, the EMT one, the, who else? The part-time deputy,
Extra
and the
deputy.
superintendent, to the, yeah.
And then I have a question on that for you. On the original, when you guys signed the original salary ordinance, there was a small paragraph at the end of it that gave a person $600 to the fire chief and in addition to what, okay? That money is still there for the fire chief and the assistant fire chief, however, Jennifer and the EMT two, that is no longer applicable according to your salary. You reduced theirs by that amount. It dropped from, hang on here, I got it. You know me, it dropped from the 1720 on the original to 1120 on the EMT one, director, and then it would drop from 1120 to 820 on the assistant, so, that I had a question on, hon.
Maybe I had grabbed the wrong,
Well, I just wanted clarification, since the
Salary.
fire chief and the assistant fire chief were not dropped, but those two were.
Right.
So I just wanted to clarify why those two particular.
well, you might wanna wait and sign that the next meeting.
I have to do it again, but I
Because
just,
is that what it says on it? Do you see it on there?
Yeah.
I have what you had originally here, plus the
And
new.
I don't have access to the file that on this computer, so I would have to.
Well, I can let you see what I'm talking about, huh? I don't want you to think I'm pulling stuff out of the air.
No, I believe you. I'm saying like what I use as far as
See,
my,
this is the portion that was changed. These didn't change, but your EMTs did. They got.
I don't
I think it's, yeah.
All of those stay the same.
But this still has EMT director.
It's the amount that changed.
I guess that's
New one. These all stayed unchanged, it's these two that changed.
so this must have been the old one because this is what it's supposed to be. You must have an old copy.
This is what you gave me though, this week.
Oh, well then,
If it's wrong, fine, but this is what you sent me.
what's on the one that I have right there? Does it
This
say,
That's when you sent the email with the correction.
right? Well, where did it go on here?
It might be just missing.
We wonder if it's just off the bottom, maybe it didn't print at the
Oh,
bottom.
because it's a,
Yeah,
hang on, I got it in here.
I'm not trying to cause trouble, it's just,
Right.
it hit that it was gone, and that's the whole primary reason to give them 3% is not to take
Well,
six
she's-
hundred
what
away.
she's sending these. Oh, you want that one? It's email she sent us.
She doesn't.
Yeah, I just read those two, those.
Yeah.
I'm going by what you sent me.
It's on there, it's just cut off.
Well, then
No, it
I'm
is.
getting to it.
It is cut off, yeah.
Assistant, yeah, it's not on that sheet.
It
It's
just
on-
got cut off. at the
So
bottom.
does it say 1120 or 1720?
For which?
EMT and the EMT
Yeah.
too.
For the director,
Oh, for
it
the-
was for the director and the assistant.
Director's 1120 a year.
Okay. All right, so, well, we could probably just cross that out and fix it back to 1720.
And
And then I can just swap out that, like, make that page then be right.
And just go ahead and adopt
Yeah.
this in.
Yeah, thank you, Terry.
you're welcome.
Um,
I didn't mean to cause trouble.
Do I have, a motion?
so the EMT director
Oh,
was 1,720.
Yeah, we'll drop down to 8. It's 820.
Yeah, and that's because we did the additional amount. So the EMT director had 1,120 from the town. And then the township, what we said we were paying as their part was 600. So that's why it's 1,720.
Oh, so it just doesn't have the township added into this, right?
Right.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just our part, the 1120.
oh,
Yes,
That makes sense.
so that's why, because,
The township hasn't paid their part yet, right?
well, they haven't done that either, but that wouldn't, I mean, we'll have to discuss that with Rebecca.
Yeah.
He just didn't figure that into this figure here, the extra, the township.
this is what we pay.
Yes.
The 1120.
For some reason, it should be the 1720 and 1120, and it's broke down at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, right. So,
No.
So that's basically what,
let me just, I'll just look it over. Don't vote on it tonight. We can vote on it next time.
okay.
Yeah.
I'd already put a date on it.
That's okay. You're fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, next thing on the agenda. Roger, you got a lot of quotes here,
A
buddy.
lot of quotes. I got one from Hubbard, for Tahoe, which I think is a overkill. That's 58,191. I did go back to Good Wines and asked about an Explorer. He gave me a quote of 47,573. And then Chrysler had a Dodge Durango at 45,424.80. Chris asked me, and I didn't bring that one up. Do you remember what the truck quote was?
I didn't get a copy of that.
But,
The one from the last meeting.
I
It
thought
was in
that,
our minutes.
I thought that F-150 was in just under 50.
it was right around that for him, so,
Is that GM?
no, that's Ford.
One was a GM, one was.
48.
Okay, are you looking for the one from
Yeah,
Good Wines?
40,
48.
Yeah,
48,
29, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Out of the two, I would prefer the truck, and I would prefer to stay local, since we have a car dealer here that pays taxes, and they are having some problems with the Dodge Durango, so I'd like to stay away from the Dodges.
Any discussion on this?
And then remember, and I won't have any quotes till we pick a vehicle, is we'll strip as much stuff out of my truck as possible, but we may have some out expenses. So we're new every time we do a new vehicle.
What is your year? Is it really? Just seems like we just.
It used to, when I was here and Gene was here, we used to switch vehicles every 3 years. We stretched them out to 6. And then between the, you gotta figure in idle time too, so
That adds up quickly.
we
So what is our plan with the truck that you currently have?
we can either try to trade it, but we've been finding out we get better selling it outright. So that's what I would say, to do, to sell it outright.
So would we sell it outright like we do our normal trucks around here? We just put it out and see who buys it. Can we get a trade-in price on it before we do that though?
I can get a trade-in price.
Yeah, because
It's
if
got a ballpark as to what
Yeah.
we're at.
I think we talked about doing both, get a trade-in amount and list it, and then see what the bid is. We've done the two, remember, we've done that.
I would lean more towards Ford, either the truck or the Explorer. I mean, they're both right there at the same price, pretty much. But I agree, stay local. So if we can get a trade-in value of good points, see what that does for us.
I suggest, I agree, Chris, stay local.
Yep.
And Roger, I don't care whether, I'm not gonna be driving it, it's you. If you want the truck over the Explorer, that's your call.
You can ride in the passenger seat.
No, I don't
Not the back seat.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll just, we'll let Roger get a, quote from Brad on a trade-in and we'll,
What are you thinking timeline wise?
I think we're gonna be a while, cause this is gonna be a 27 model.
Okay.
They switched over, so it took us a while to get the pickup truck, so.
And that we have the funds to do that, correct? Okay.
Yes, we'll take it out of our edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good.
And, I sent you guys the, January report. I also emailed you a mid-report, but just to kind of go over some of this, the highlights out for, so far this year, and I throw in the other departments here, as the White County Sheriff's Department did 8,181 calls. Reynolds Police Department's done 524 calls. Monticello Police Department's done 4,071. We are at 946 for the year so far. Brookston is at 257 and Wolcott is at 243. The other thing that I'm gonna go over here is our July the 11th blitz. With the agencies that participated, we did 30 stops. Out of 30 stops, ICE detained 13 people. 2 were later released by ICE. And that, because once they get them detained and they can start doing some stuff, there was some process on 2 of the people that had already been started, so they were released back into the community. Out of those 13, I believe only 3 was from Monon, the others was a van of contractors between here and Hotel and stuff. So that's where we're at. We do have training coming up on July the 14th. Our state mandates will be at 1 o'clock down the Frontier. That's where we'll be doing that. Now I'm going to switch gears here. Sidewalks on 3rd Street are all done except for the approaches and stuff that we clean up. And then there'll be the curbing. I'll meet with him next week. I don't know if they're just gonna do the sidewalk stretches through first and then come back, do the curbing and then come back, do the milling and then the asphalt. We did have Ken Smith up to do a walkthrough with us because there was a little misunderstanding between the blueprints and what actually needed to be done. So we got that corrected. And then he'll be up to do a walkthrough with us when we move over to Race Street. The only other thing that I have got is I started a project with Energy Harness. It's a light company. One of the things we looked at was the fire station, because I drive past there at nighttime and every light in the house is on. In fact, the day they came up to do the walkthrough and the initial talk with me, every light was on, and then what was around. So we looked into upgrading the LED lights in there, and we are gonna replace the light over the door going out the back kitchen, the door going out the meeting room, and then it's gonna be converted to motion and sound sensors. They estimated over the life of the lights of 11 years that we will save off of our current bill, and the way they figured out, we'll save over $24,000 in the next 11 years. So we went ahead and moved ahead with that project, and what was the cost?
So without the lift,
Yeah.
it's $4,998.33.
Yeah. They need a scissor lift for a day. I've got some avenues I'm gonna explore that I think we can borrow a scissor lift for today.
And then if we do need the scissor lift, from them, it'd be $1,050.
But we thought that was,
Well,
we,
we don't have a safety mask.
yeah, we thought that would be a good project to move forward with, and it's gonna pay off over time.
They got time frame on that?
Actually, end of August, 1st of
Oh,
September.
So we got time then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next thing on it is OCRA rehabilitation grant. Annette, you wanna,
So I met with Edwin and Emily, and because I was trying to get that, like a questionnaire sent out to find out who might be, if they're eligible, if they would be eligible, and who would be interested. They have to be a homeowner, and they have to meet the income guidelines. So as I was doing that, reading through all the stuff, everything we need to know ahead of time, it said that we had to work with someone that was a grant administrator, so certified or whatever, I forget what the exact words are, but, so Curbsy was on the list, so I contacted them. And they basically would do everything. They would get the questionnaire ready, they would do the public hearings, they would go through the initial grant applications as they come in, if we get the grant. So this would be kind of after that. So they would actually go through that, and then the town, the role that you guys would have is first deciding if you want to invest money into this and how much, and then if you want to, train of thought. So the timeline. Where did I stop? Oh, and then after, if we do get the grant, then you have to come up with a 5-member board to go through the applications after they do to score those on a merit-based system. So they give you the guidelines, but then we would have to have a 5-member, they recommend at least 5 members to go through and then determine who they would like to, who would actually get those funds. So you could target.
Money come from for that?
We would use our economic development money. So that does help the town. They say it's a great program. It's very hard to get. So that's why you have to show the need for it. And it's very competitive, but so they say it's a great program. It really can help the town. It can help seniors in their homes. Like maybe they need a new roof, or, there's certain things they can do as far as ADA, but it's really just a ramp up to their door. Electrical and the water heater, furnace, those types of things they can do. just not, it's not as expansive as what it was in the past. They kind of really lowered that down because of lead. They don't want to have to do anything, get anywhere where they're gonna have a lead issue. So they restricted what the work can be, but
Does the homeowner have to pay a percentage of the bill they get this done?
right. And they said if you go for the $350,000, you're looking at, for the grant, it would be 12 to 14 homes, basically, that you would be able to help during that round. You can always apply for additional rounds. If we decided we wanted to apply for the $350,000 grant, our portion would be $38,500, because it's the way they do their math. It's the amount, their amount plus our amount, and then you take it times 10%. So we can decide on any amount if you wanted to do that. We would be looking at next year at this point.
How long the process that take?
What is that?
How long is the process? Did they mention that, like from when, if we do this, from when they start the applications? Is that like it's not something that gets done right away, is it?
No, because we have to send out the surveys first. So they would give us like the documents to hand out. We'd take them to the food pantry, we, place them around town. But there's other places, we would place those so that people could get the word out and people could, be aware that we're doing that. And then they have public hearings. But they would, I don't know how long it would be after. We'd have to get it awarded first before.
We got it.
Even the process beforehand, like we wouldn't be ready by the next grant cycle, which is November. So it would have to be 2027. The county is trying to do it right now for all of White County. But they do want, they came and talked to us about, they would like to see the towns do their own. And then they would exclude the town from applying for the county funds. Yeah,
I was hoping we could double dip.
yeah, but the county is hoping to get theirs in before the end of the year is what Emily had mentioned, but
Is Rensselaer doing this?
are they?
They are.
Are they? Okay.
I thought I'd heard they were.
They are.
Okay.
My personal opinion is I think it would help some people on a fixed income that need some work done on their home.
Right.
And if we, this is one way we could help.
Right.
It's a program that could help some people.
Right. To help seniors age in place.
Right, and they're gonna have to meet the financial portion of it, which that'll stop somebody that's can afford it from getting the money.
Right. And there is a lot of documents that they have to submit, to prove that they're, it's like the bank statements and, all their financial information so it is a question of how many that we would have that's interested.
If they're not interested, then
Right.
we don't worry about it. But
Right. And they have to be the homeowner living in the house.
Helps maintain our community.
Well, sure, I think it's win-win, and, yeah, I mean, you don't have to use it. If people don't want to use it, fine, but it'll be there if they want it.
Right.
I think we should try it.
Percy would charge, I believe it's 8 or 8.5%, is what their rate is, but they only charge it if you get the grant.
Okay.
So there's no cost, and they said it's very highly competitive, so they are really putting a lot of work into it, and then having a high chance that they're not gonna get paid for it. Yeah, I know one way they told me that you could boost your score is by like targeting a certain group. So if you targeted seniors, like if you said that that's the group that's gonna get more points to get, if you had seniors and you had families and the seniors got an additional however many points, that could also give you additional points for the grant process.
If we don't get enough response back from the survey, from the community, that might sway our
Right.
decision too. I mean, if people are not gonna answer the survey and wanna be a part of it, why should we go all this trouble.
It shouldn't take a lot to
No,
produce 10 or 12
I wouldn't think.
houses in town. Yeah, I was thinking,
I would think it'd be a lot of people who jump like that.
my first thought was I don't want to be on that 4 to 5 to have to pick
Yeah,
12 out of
Yeah.
20.
yeah. That might be the hardest part, finding the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because none of us could probably be on it.
I would have to ask them.
I think 4 boys would be 2.
Yeah.
If I remember, I read something.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, say like for the council only 2, but
I'd say go ahead and
you know,
We can
proceed.
see what we're,
Yeah.
so how much are you guys interested in? I can tell you that if we spend all of our appropriated money for edit this year, then our balance for those funds would be 257,718. That is including Roger's truck this year. That's just everything that we have appropriated being spent, which is highly unlikely. So if we decided we wanted to do a $350,000 grant application, our contribution would be the $38,500. $250,000 grant, ours would be $27,500 for our part. And then a $200,000 would be $22,000. Good. You're probably not gonna get much value if you go lower than that, because it does, they have to have radon testing, they have to have, so but it's all paid for through the grant, it's all part of that grant process. But the costs are more than just coming in and replacing the roof.
Do we have to decide on that before we get feelers out there to see who's be interested?
She said, because I did ask that question, they do have to know an amount, and I said, well, what if they want to start out lower, and then in the future, like if they find out they have a bunch of people who are interested, can they raise it? But she said, whatever you guys decide is what we have to go with, but you can always apply for a future grant if you wanted to, see how one goes, maybe a smaller, I don't know. And then see how that goes, and then you can apply for another one in the future.
I think it's very competitive. If what we're talking about, I think we go for the 350 and apply for it. What the chance of getting this sounds slim. So if we do, it doesn't take a lot to spend $350,000.
They said that'd be like 12 to 14 homes, probably.
And that, I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, depending on what they're having done too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we start talking roofs
Mhm.
and doing it, and we'll shoot that in a hurry.
Anybody has my second on the 350?
I'll second.
All right, let's go with the 350,000.
So this would be for 2027, so we can
Yes.
always work that into our budget.
I'm gonna vote on favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Roger, you have anything, or are you done?
The only other thing is I do have one property, 305 North Race Street, that I've reached out after I found out last week the sheriff's department dropped off a notice of foreclosure on that property. So I'm emailing the mortgage company concerns. Someone did come in and mow that property, and it looks pretty good from the outside, but whatever's behind the fence, who knows? But, so I'm dealing with the mortgage company on that to see what that new property we're in here. Do some cleaning on. If it is in foreclosure.
Does the person that has that property have the,
No,
it's not the same?
Well, it's not by the person that the foreclosure's on. It's by the original family that has that side of it. But that one's on the radar too. You need some of that stuff. The regular place isn't good for almost, yeah.
Okay. All right, Tracy.
There's a lot going on, actually. So over the weekend, we did experience some issues on Northeast Street Lift Station. Roger called me and came in at night. We reversed the pump, and ever since we reversed the pump and put it back in auto, it has worked. I called Tanner Fluke in the next day, still no issues. He said everything was running good, so whatever we did that night was good. Wild Trivet is still replacing the lights on the lift stations to make those correct and make those better so that water doesn't get into the light bulbs, which is burning up our wiring system. And Item did deem us on that, but I had told them that we were currently trying to fix the issues. We did not, Roger helped get a man to cut down that tree at the new town hall. We cut it down and we put the payment box in. It's installed and ready to be used. Brandon from Spear is supposed to be replacing a check valve that's failed. It caused a lot of brine water to go into our piping, which ruined the piping at the plant, caused it to have a lot of corrosion. The piping is fixed. It was fixed before I had taken over, and he's due to fix that check valve, but he has not came yet. He was supposed to come today, just didn't have time. The street sweeper, I had given you pictures. It was damaged. I did get with Fred, and he said that he is going to be able to weld that and correct that system if we'd like him to do that. Mansilla, is that his last name, Roger? There is an issue with alleyways, I think. I think a lot of alleyways have a lot of potholes. They're uneven. I feel like there's some alleyways that we need to put rock in, so I'd like to incorporate our dump truck to utilize that to put the rock in. But then I was also thinking maybe the town would like to either rent the broom to clean up the Harley rig, or would they like to buy it and just have one to keep it all the time and we can use every year? I did give you quotes on what it would be to buy, and then I gave you a quote on what it is broken down into weeks, days, and I think a month to borrow that rate or to rent it. The signage, we're currently working on as many signs as we can, stop signs, things like that have been knocked over by semis. There's still a lot of crooked ones out there. We are trying. We can't knock them all out in a day, but we're definitely trying to clean that up. We started the work on the beds before Roger had switched with me, and we have completed that. We're ready to use the beds if Dustin permits. He is the operator in charge and has to stay. Vanguard currently has our parking lot all dug up because they had a storm drain that had collapsed in the middle of our parking lot. And they are wanting to replace it, but then they put it on hold because now they're thinking, do we want to put it through the wastewater treatment plant's parking lot, or do we want to run it through Vanguard's parking lot? But I will be calling Justin because it does hinder our use of our garage, so we need to figure out what's going on with that and get it moving. Clarifier, we went out there today and we tore it apart the best that we could. I did bring you an update on that. So after we disassembled and evaluated and did a thorough review, we found out that the keeper ring at the end, we could not get out. We don't have a big enough tool to take that keeper ring out. And we also don't have the preload tolerance to put the bearing back in at 0.010 to 0.015. Tanner Fluke said, I will come in, I will rip out the system, and we will get it prepared to send it back for the cost of $700. But then I also received a quote today from Walker, who does the repair, and they said it's $14,580. But that's the repair of what's broken. There's no way that we can do it at the site. But to save costs, I was thinking that possibly Honor or I could drive to Illinois. It's a 2 hour, 45-minute drive to save the shipping fee of that, which could be up to $600. If we can just take it there, drop it, and pick it back up, it'll save the town money that way. I know it's a big cost, but it's important that we get that up and running again. We have the sampler machine that we just purchased that we will be using and utilizing in the new plant, and the thermostat in the sampler machine stopped working. I did give you a quote on that from Grip. They're stating that that might not be like the total cost. They're going to dive into it, see if that's exactly what's going on, but it could be up to the $4,000. I don't have the quote in front of me, $4,000 something. I gave you a copy. Our lead and copper test results came back good. I attribute the success to the homeowners following instructions and implementing the corrosion control plan I submitted to IDEM. The park department, we received the piece for the workout equipment the other day. Roger helped unload it with honor, and we have gotten that put back together and replaced. We did have a visit from IDEM the other day, and it's still the I&I is a big problem, and at the wastewater treatment plant, and Dustin has to respond to that letter within 30 days of receiving that. And we got emailed that letter on June 26th. And that's pretty much it for now. I got a lot more, but I'll just go slow.
Please do. Anybody have any questions for Tracy? Comments?
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So the stone, we did appropriate more of that last year for alleys. So we did appropriate 6,000 this year for, alley gravel for alleyways. So I don't know if that's something you guys want to start discussing, or maybe if we,
We will have some, street grindings here before long too. When we start doing the streets.
Do we use street gradings?
We did once before and we got a lot of complaints.
Yeah, I was thinking that was not.
When they were big chunks.
Yeah. Yeah, it just all depends on how fast you get it down and what the chunks look like.
Kids
As
running.
it runs through the ground.
Probably middle of
Yeah,
the
I
potholes,
didn't
you
know.
gotta get below the
That
pothole
or-
and break it up before you put stone back in. Or else the pothole will just come back.
It'll, I'm not in favor of the street grindings, because the one
Yeah.
went behind Bob Allen's house. And I think it's still like chunks like this, and that's,
They weren't ground down.
no, if it was ground down, it'd be great. We could use a lot of it.
Does the county have a grinder for that? Like if we had street grindings, if they could come over with that piece of equipment, and grind it up?
I tried to get them to do that with some blocks and stuff, and they don't seem to be very,
Okay.
they using it anymore like they used to.
Okay.
It's a shame.
The only thing I see, Tracy, on your list is the park equipment being replaced. Did you do that on Sunday? The 28th was Sunday.
Sorry, I must have misstated that. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
I thought today was Mrs. Onken's birthday as well. But, no, we did that Monday, wasn't it Monday, Roger, that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, it is.
and I do want to clarify something. We do have a quote from MIG to come on site and try and repair that clarifier for $10,450. But I think it would be smarter to take it to the people that built it, make it, and engineer it to have it just done, and we know it's right, and there's no guessing. And that's not saying if MIG comes on site and says, well, we can't do it, or we can't fix it, and still charge us to come out on site for that. But then also, we thought we had spare parts. Roger and I went upstairs to look at the parts, and we found out that Walker had sent us the wrong parts, and they're willing to give us a trade so that we won't have to purchase the sprocket that's upstairs. They're gonna trade it out for us for the one that they sent us that was incorrect, if we bring it there to get it fixed.
Solid glass.
Yeah,
Versus place at in Illinois.
Aurora, Illinois. Yeah, it's a haul. It's 2 hours and 46 minutes. I would say that if we did drive it, we would have them come in normal shift, and one of us would take care of the lab work and stay at the facility to take care of street department and maintain everything that's going on for the day. And then the other one would take the trip and try and be back by the time that they were ready to end shift. So it'd be a full day of driving there and back.
Yeah.
So we don't have to pay overtime.
I'll leave that up to you to make that call. You're in charge.
I also put, I need the board to vote whether they want to pay the $14,000 because it's over my limit. as to whether I'm able to make that decision.
If we gotta have it,
That thing's been down long enough. Back up. I think that's one of the things that I did.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a choice. We can't get this new place built fast enough,
No, sir.
because this is a money pit, big time. But we gotta keep doing it, so we get to do it. So,
We can tell you the last time that we had it fully replaced was $30,000.
Wow.
And that was to have Flukes do it, new gearbox and crane come in and set it.
Wow.
And then the second time it went out, I rebuilt it in-house and put it back in. So
See,
it'd be 14 grand to have somebody else do it. It's at least half of the 30 that was the first time.
yeah,
I would just love to pick your brain when it came to that clarifier, because we worked hard on it today, taking it apart, and then we just can't get that out.
And I rebuilt it in-house.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have any suggestions, I'd rather do it in-house if we can, come on down. I'll work with you all day long.
14,000.
The metal shavings at the top were at least an inch thick.
That's what it's designed to do, is to peel that brass
Yes.
gear up and then it locks up.
do I have a motion to go ahead and spend the 14,000, get this clarifier?
I'll make the motion.
Can I have a second? All in favor? All opposed?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Get rid of that.
Yeah, it's gotta be done, because we just spend it like we got it. Okay, Annette?
So with the holiday weekend, the town hall, the employees will be off the Friday, July 3rd and Monday, July 6th. You guys all know that that was approved by our salary ordinance.
2 days off.
Yeah.
Holy.
So we're following the county, holiday schedule, and that's what they're doing this year. So,
I just told my boss.
trash collection, so On Point has contacted the office because we've had a lot of residents that are overfilling their trash cans. And they are basically going to stop picking those up if they continue. So 2 weeks ago, I believe, Tracy and Honor went out and gave, Tracy did, she went out and put signs on the doors where their trash cans were overflowed, that they could call On Point to get an additional tote. I know that that was 2 weeks ago. This past week, we still had trash totes that were overflowing, but they did pick them all up. They were just running behind because they had a new driver they were training, so they did pick them up. And Eric emailed the office, and he said that when they have a trash tote that has been overflowing, because when they pick them up, then they go all over the ground, that they will take a photo of the tote, send it to the town hall with the address. We will go out and we'll put a notice on their door that they only have that week to either call and get another tote, or if they overfill their trash can, again, it's going to be skipped. So that's, and the ordinance does say they have to, you're supposed to be able to close your lid. If, he said if they're open, just, a little bit, they're not gonna, but we have some that are just overflowing ridiculously. So they're tired of it.
Get the lid up.
I don't blame them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an ongoing
I'm
issue.
thinking, maybe talking to Rebecca and see if we keep having to reoccur at the same address. We can just go ahead and tack another tote on their price on their water bill,
Uh-huh.
then maybe that'll nudge them faster to go get a second tote.
Maybe we have to talk to her.
Because
Their
I mean,
second tow, according to our contract, it's only $84 a year. So it's actually cheaper than the first tow, but yeah. So really, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't. You just have to get a contract with On Point directly. So, I don't know what our solution's gonna be. I mean, I guess they have to hold their trash because we're gonna have a lot of trash probably left. So we have to deal with,
We need to communicate.
we can't,
We're gonna have
well, we
trash
are
all
trying, yeah. But we can't, if we go out and pick it up, then they're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
So it has to be left to, I don't know, you guys. Everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
That we say we're not sending out our people, and if your trash was left because you continue to do this, then,
That's the company's policy.
right.
That's the rule.
I
Yeah.
mean, our ordinance say they're gonna leave it. It does say that you can't overstuff your trash
Yeah.
can, so
So
it is a violation.
are they gonna take pictures of this?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they gonna do it like a couple of weeks, or they just prove that it's
No, I think it's just whenever they have
when they're, well, okay.
going forward, yeah. So, but we will notify the resident, we'll make sure we put a note on their door that gets their attention, hopefully, English, Spanish, so that they know that they have to take care of this situation. When he takes the picture, they will dump the tote, but then he said the next week, they won't. That's that. Utility billing, we had a glitch in our system this month. It's probably due to, Tammy was on the phone all day with Census. Census and Keystone trying to figure out what happened. It only uploaded half of our, reads for the month, that they were in the tablet, but only uploaded half. This past month, Tammy and I kept having issues. I kept getting kicked out of my fund because it runs off her computer. She kept losing her connection. So, that's what we think happened, because it was like it did half, but then it didn't do the rest, and they couldn't get it to clear to bring in the full reading. So our solution, instead of having them go back out and read 2 weeks later, and people get a 6-week water bill, was just to estimate. It kind of does throw things off because of the pool bills and the sprinkling credits, but the next month that they'll just see it on there because it will still catch up. But that was our solution for that. We haven't had vouchers came in and they made sure that they got her computer hardwired, so we shouldn't have that issue any longer, hopefully.
Well, she was running wireless. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Yep, I have the State Board of Accounts School, July 13th to the 14th. Our CCR report has been posted on our website. The link to that was put on everybody's water bills, and then there's some copies back there at the back, if anybody wants a copy of those. And I sent you guys an email with that, but if you want to print a copy, there's some back there. It's also available at Town Hall. You want to come in and look at it there. On July 9th, I'm going to have a meeting with surrounding treasurers regarding the lit restructuring. So, and Joe Tallman, that's how I say his last name, from AIM is going to come also, to discuss what they want, the legislators want us to do is for the municipalities, cities, towns, and for all of us to get together with a council member, a county council member, to discuss what we need in the future for our lit. Because all of that, unless you have a population of over 5,000, the county is going to control how they want to disperse the money. So they're wanting us all to get together to try to come to an agreement on how much everybody needs and to keep their funding going. The lit is our main revenue. It is about double what our property taxes are for our general fund. So it is huge and we don't want to lose it.
And then is that the one at the Civic Center?
Yes,
Next Thursday?
yes, Thursday, July 9th,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
put that on, and I couldn't remember what it was.
yeah. So
Okay.
are you gonna come? Cause
Yeah,
you know, we can have other people come to, you know, to be in on the discussion if you'd like to come, and that would be
I will.
great.
I won't know
because-
anything, but I'll come.
Well, Joe, he came in and met with me personally because Campbell Ritchie from AIM, we had a webinar to discuss this new lit restructuring. And he offered to do this spreadsheet that shows you like what your current lit is and then what it could, you know, like different scenarios on what it could be and what it should be. And he sent that to me that same day. Joe called me and he came in that day to discuss with me, which was very helpful for me to even understand how that all works. So the county, he says, is in pretty good shape because the highest that they can have is 2.9%, and right now our rate is like 2.3, so it's not like we're over. So it should be able to be worked out. We won't lose, hopefully, as much as some other, But, so we're gonna try to get together, all of us have to come to an agreement, and then we have to get, it's a non-binding agreement, so probably at least a time. The legislators want to find out who can work together, like what counties can work together and come up with a plan and what ones can't, because that's gonna tell them whether they have to go back and maybe rethink how they have this set up to be distributed with just the county in charge. So, yeah. That's about that.
Tony,
And nothing.
Chris?
Well, I got two things. Annette should have sent you guys a new revised run sheet for EMT
Oh.
through Google Docs. That way, I think Jennifer, myself, and two other EMTs can modify it. Everybody else can view it. That way, we're gonna see a better run report, I think. And then the second thing I have is the EMT2 position. I had a young gentleman show interest in it. I understand that it is the full-time position is more designed for a person that lives in town or works in town. This young man he lives in Monticello. He's young, he lives with his parents, really doesn't have much of any bills or anything. My thoughts were on it, if this happens, that he would be on station for 7.5 hours, much like Monticello. He would come in the day, start his day, he'd be on station all day. Any call comes in, he goes on
With Jennifer?
with Jennifer, if she goes. Because it's, if she still goes to her calls, if not, she uses her vacation or PTO if she can't make them. But this would kind of guarantee that we have somebody going during the day.
So we have the firemen on there, or not, I'm not firemen.
Because I'm on a cell.
Not self.
Yeah. This would be a learning experience for him. He does have ZMT. He was in class with me and Nick. So just throwing that out there, I think it would be a good thing to have a second EMT during the day.
Would we have to pay full benefits?
It would be a full-time position, correct? Yeah.
If you did, we have two positions. We have the EMT, the full-time one, and we have the part-time.
Yeah.
So,
My thing is if he's willing to sit on station, I don't think I'd want to be a part-time person. I think I'd want to be, like, that would be my full-time job, is to sit there and go on runs. So, just my thoughts. I think it would be a good thing to have. If we have the position. And nobody in, I don't know how many years has shown interest for it, so.
What can we get him to do? Because there's gonna be a lot of days he's not gonna have anything to do.
Well, you kind of think about it too, what does Jennifer do during the day? I know she has a job at home,
Yeah.
but we pay her to be on call, a full-time on-call person. This would be basically the same thing, he'd just be set at the station. We could talk to the fire chief, see if there's anything he can do there for cleanup or maintaining of anything. His job would be to maintain the ambulance, I believe, keep it clean, stocked, all that kind of thing. So.
and that's part, yeah,
That's
part
Jennifer's
of it.
job.
that would be, well, I mean, we only have one description for the EMT position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of it, I do believe, is to maintain that ambulance. I mean, if he's willing to sit there for 7.5 hours. So,
What do you think, Ron?
I don't know. I think not that digest. I agree. I think coverage is important, and we do have the position.
and there are times that Monticello is not intact.
And the only thing I'm thinking, well, you're thinking the dead time. That's a bit of a concern, but our poor fire chief back there, I saw he was rolling his eyes, but, is there other duties? I mean, because the kids obviously got a little bit of get up and go.
Yeah.
He went through the training,
Yeah.
and it's a stepping stone to help. I'm open-minded to it, but I don't
Yeah.
really have a bottom line yet.
That's where I'm kinda at.
Well, because I went through the calls that Jennifer sent us here, what was it, from March to April, in May I did that, but we didn't have Mays. Anyway, long story. I did an average of how many calls she had, and she had 5 calls a month
During the day.
during the day, but that's what we pay her for.
Yeah.
And that's what her insurance is for.
Yeah.
And don't we pay her, like with insurance is close to 40,000?
Yeah.
And then her rate, so she's like,
About 25 almost.
okay, so 55,000? What?
I got a question.
Okay.
If they are on the payroll, can Tracy use them during the day?
I have a summer help position that's available.
That's a good question.
They would just have to have a vehicle with them to pager went off to get back to the station.
And we used to have somebody that
Because-
that responded.
Nate Danis was the last one, I believe, because I got him
Yeah.
after I left town, so. Potentially,
I'm just saying, I mean, if they're already employed,
yeah.
And that's the downtime that we're talking
Yeah.
about, you know.
I'd be bored just sitting
Oh,
there
my goodness.
7 hours.
But then we have the issue, then that's 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were kind of discussing with the park caretaker, the
Yeah.
park caretaker and
Because I did ask about the park caretaker, could they be a caretaker and an EMT? Because I kind of had this kid in mind for that as well. But, we fulfilled that position, so.
yeah, lovely. We
Yes.
filled it very quickly. We appreciate you
Yeah.
guys stepping up.
Always next year. There is a next year. As soon as it's done, he can start.
Yeah.
But
Because we
if
really
you
need
guys like it the way we have it, I think the guy anybody has to come and do it the way we've been doing. If you want it that way, they've got to learn how to be organized. You
Right.
can't just, one day, I'll just do half this. We don't. I do the full thing in the middle. I do it all. I don't stop because it's raining or anything. I still do it. I just do it.
Right.
You just don't stop halfway and expect, I'll do it the next day, or I won't do it. You can't do that. And that's just somebody that, I think if you guys want somebody in there for the park, you need to get somebody that could come over and help a little bit. And we could show them how it all goes. I mean,
We also
So
have.
that's what I was gonna check with Rebecca on, because I don't know how that works.
We also have a crossing guard opportunities, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that could be a potential usage.
like, that would be hard. Well, it depends on what kind of on duty, because what if he gets a call while he's supposed to be there?
Yeah,
Then kids are left with nobody
that's
to.
the problem.
Yeah.
I would think if anything, kind of like with Nate, you can't double pay him.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
So you would have to see if he's interested, and if it's something Tracy is interested in, then hire him for that spot, and then he just leaves for an EMT call like Nate used to do, and still gets paid on the clock, because I think our handbook, it's kind of like.
Yeah,
our
right, they just
fire
can't get
department.
paid by the
Instead,
department for
so,
that
yeah,
run,
They do.
they get paid, yeah.
Definitely summer help, but as far as the lab tech, that we will, if we are gonna hire another one, I'm gonna be pretty picky on who we choose.
Technically, you have 2 positions open right now
Yes, sir.
for a town employee. Since you got moved to superintendent, that opens up a labor position as well.
Okay.
And with the leaving of our other employees, or one of them, that should open up 2, I think.
Well, so what are you talking about, the lead position?
Hmm.
Or what other position are you talking about?
Tracy was labor.
Oh, because we had 3
She's not
laborers.
superintendent.
Yeah.
We've always had 3 laborers. So there's 2 labor positions
Yes.
open right now.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
we
on the same
could,
page
we
now.
could see if he's interested in a position like that.
I would feel better about him doing that than to just pay him. I don't know if that's a good sense. Huh?
We kind of already do that.
What's that?
Pay somebody just to sit around and be available.
Well, no, she's already got a job.
I know, that should be his job.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I find it hard when she's making 5 runs a month. I mean, that's very little.
And it does vary. I mean, you sit on.
Not a lot.
Right.
It does. I did 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the mess in here somewhere.
So,
It's just, that's my personal opinion. But if that would work out, I could justify with the insurance and all the other.
How does the EMT work? It doesn't say they have to live in town, right? We could get,
I don't know if it says that they have to live in town or not, but they should work in town, obviously.
right.
But,
We'll just have to look to see what that says.
yeah,
Speaking, I'm sorry, but it reminded me, job descriptions. I have been working on revising the job descriptions, and I was wanting to have like 1 or 2 board members who I could bounce ideas off of, like to have you review and things before we actually take it to the whole council to, like, we're gonna make any changes. So I'm definitely, the EMT position needs some, revisions to it. And, I did notice that we have a laborer 1A and the laborer 1B. So the laborer 1A, I have to take back my words from last meeting. They do say that they have to have, they have to start getting their water and wastewater certification between the 2nd and 3rd year. I think that if we're going to do that, we need to include it in the job description so they know that that's a requirement, because that job pays more than laborer 1B. So if they say they just want to be a laborer and that's okay with everybody, then that wouldn't be their, but they would get the lower pay. That wouldn't be a requirement. But another thing that if we're going to enforce that is how long, this would be for future, but how long are we going to give them to get that? Because it says, or they'll be terminated. How long do they have to get that certification? Because it doesn't say that.
It doesn't, yeah.
So how can you ever enforce that? Not, how do you say if they've started? If they've taken a class? Okay, they've taken a class, but then how long do they have to finish it and actually get it certified? And there has to be a better timeline on all that.
IDEM has rules as well. You have to be working there so long.
2 years,
before you
right?
can.
also with that, you have the wastewater and water field, people don't like working in water and wastewater. So if you get somebody that is interested in it and is good at it, you need to try to retain them. Because not just everybody likes working with food.
No,
It takes a special type of person.
I don't like it, but I do it.
And I think on the other, first one you're talking about, we probably need to get from Tracy, let her there, and see if she's interested, because if she's not for some reason, then that kills that idea of the plan B.
But if it's EMT position only, and if we decide to do that, that would be a Jennifer interview.
Yeah, I know, I
She's
was talking about
yeah.
that later.
Yeah.
Thing, and.
I'll talk to him and see if he's interested in it.
And he's going to do EMT training and license. Probably sharp,
Oh, yeah.
and that's gonna help.
Yeah.
Water, wastewater. Not enough. 2 birds.
Maybe.
But yeah. I don't know if she doesn't like you.
I think we've got to go labor and answer EMT calls instead of having EMT and fill in here and there.
Yeah, I'll talk to him and see if he's
That way,
interested.
we're only paying one thing. He's a town employee, but he can leave and go on an EMT.
Nice to have that qualification. And I when we start getting into the benefits, we're.
Next year, there will be trees over there.
Do you have any volunteers for the job
I think we need to maybe break that up and talk the different board members and different positions, like, you know, Chris is gonna have a lot of insight on some, and Jamie and myself, everybody may have,
We need to deal.
just put on a different position. But I think just pick and choose who has the strength in that area. Because you're,
Well, obviously,
if
we'll
I
check
would,
with the.
I would love to help, but you're gonna ask me questions about a position that I don't know squat about.
Right, right.
And I'll always have an opinion for you. Look, it might be wrong. Been known to do that. Can't be emotional.
You got to do it.
I'm gonna step away from that committee.
Okay,
I'll let somebody else.
okay.
I've got enough going.
Yes, I understand. I agree.
But I agree, Chris's job description on wastewater, water, that's his expertise.
Right. But we'll also, consult with our
The technical stuff.
department heads, but I just,
Sure.
to see what, another opinion on what we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Go
agree.
to the council before we start going down that road.
And I like what you said about the timeline on the training, because I've read that, we have to do that
Right.
after the first 2 years. And I didn't even catch the, how do we enforce
Well,
that?
and I looked in the handbook and there's nothing in the handbook either, so it's like, okay, so how do we enforce it? But it was removed from the labor 1B. So,
And we need to make that evident when
Right.
whoever's coming. Because
yeah,
when I read that, I thought, okay, that's automatic. Everybody that takes the job is gonna understand the agreement. And obviously, that's not the case. Let's get some data.
and I don't understand how it was followed, so
Then we're in
that's
trouble.
kind of a problem.
Then we're in trouble.
I need some details, so.
Okay, Ron, do you have anything?
No, I just trash that we talked about. I've seen, my north part of town is abused. Mine gets filled up. And I have to go out and smash it down at times. It's not for mine. I don't even have a half a container. But that is an issue. And I think the communication that we're gonna pursue is gonna be good, because when they don't pick it up, or I have trash
Oh, yeah.
floating around
And I don't want
everywhere.
our town people.
No, I don't either. And that's, I pick up enough stuff.
Yeah.
A letter that we sent out earlier, I even encouraged them to start recycling.
Yeah.
Because they can, that would
Yes.
cut your trash considerably. But,
Kim, I told Tracy, we're not gonna weed whack that ditch anymore.
Okay, you're gonna let it grow up then?
If we have to,
Normally we burn it off.
we can burn it off, we can
See,
spray it.
last year.
Tracy's got, somebody's gonna come in, I think, mow it. But I think it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
And too labor to go out there and weed whack that ditch. And her and one of the other boys went out the other day before you guys started. We're not gonna do that. We'll burn it off in the fall. If she's got somebody that'll come in and cut it at least once, fine. But I don't want any of our town or park people doing that. That is,
See, every year, I always ask the fire department if they come down, burn off all the leaves, and then they burn the whole ditch for me,
yeah,
and it'd be fine.
yeah.
And then you can keep up with it.
And
But
it is.
it's just outrageous now.
And my second thing is, I don't know how the rest of you council people feel, but with this heat, I just assume you guys not be out working in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing out there that needs to be done that's that important when you need to be out there at 2:00 and the heat index is 105.
well, when you're on the lawnmowers, it's really cool, but
It's
you
hot.
don't really.
If you wanna come in earlier,
That's
Or
fine.
do it
Early,
later.
when you go early, the grass is wet.
I know that.
Low the bottom of the mower, you can stop.
Yeah,
You cannot go on mow early.
no.
You know,
But
no.
any other things you could do, and Tracy, as far as you and Honor, I'd get all my outside work done as quick as I could, and if
Yeah.
you've got stuff inside to do, stay out of the heat,
We are.
because it's dangerous. I mean, they don't tell you this stuff on TV, warn people. And I know what it's like, because when I taught school, in May, we had days like this. I was outside all day,
Jerry
No-
had me
no
for you
trees.
today.
and so I know what it's like. You can't drink enough water to be cool.
Yeah, we took him hydration today
Yeah,
because he had
give
to
me
worry
water.
at the park.
I
And he
worked in
paid
ball
for
for
it.
29 years. You ever know what is ball?
Yeah.
You know how hot it's inside?
Oh, I don't wanna
I
know.
worked for 29 years. The heat outside over here, it don't bother me.
It does me.
But
Stay
for me,
in
it
the
was
shade.
You know, I worked over there for 29 years. The summertime over there, outside is 100, inside is 110, 115. I know we take a lot of cool off break, they give us water, Gatorade and everything, just to keep us cool.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I just,
like I said, I worked for 29 years over there.
for your own safety,
I know,
don't feel like you gotta be out in it.
you know, I don't wanna push my limits, I know what my limits are. When she saw me over there, I was just taking a break, I finished mowing the other side, over in the cooler spot. But when you're in the mower, the wind, you don't get hot with the wind. I wear pants,
He
I had
wears
to
pants,
leave.
long sleeves.
it don't bother me, I told you. I worked 29 years over there in mow. You just go over there right now, it's about 110 right now,
Oh, I'll
it's
bet.
the evening.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
All right.
All in favor?
All right.
Hi.
Pass that down to it.
Thank you.
We gotta rent that Harley race.
You guys gotta fight. It's in the summer, I'm gonna tell you. Don't worry, we're on. Back there, we said, no, that's my job. Another party.
11,000 is the buy and it's.
I worked 29 years over there.
You're not mowing?
I was, I retired 2 years ago, tear teeth up.
Yeah.